Oh wow, we're so straight away. Like, no action.
Nah, just go
Take
straight.
one.
Yes, guys, it's CT the PT here, also known as Clive, and we're back in. Let's introduce our guests, starting from my left.
Hi everyone, I'm Abby. Let me tell you a bit about what I do. I'm a fitness coach and I'm the co-founder of a fitness consultancy on Instagram called I'm Active with a 3, not an E.
Spell it.
AMACTIV 3.
Hi Queens, it's ZayMuda. My name's Zainab. I had to. My name is Zainab and I am a fashion brand owner and a self-journey advocate on Instagram.
Okay. Alright then, ladies. How's it going by? Long time since I've seen you.
It's been so long, Clive.
It's been some time, I can't lie. Now, I was just thinking, cool. So just in general, in terms of life, because we've not seen each other for so long, and I mean, to be honest, as individuals, we've developed, fair to say.
A lot.
But the biggest factor in that is that we are obviously different genders.
Yeah.
So if I look at your space and just how you present yourself on social media, you're a huge advocate for femininity.
Yeah.
What does femininity mean to you then?
Femininity to me is that notion of being able to tap into who you truly are, finding the things that you don't like, the things that you do like, creating this definition of who you truly are at the very core, and that naturally exuding out of you is feminine energy. So I know that on social media a lot of people have kind of taken that word and made it into this like very one-way system of, you know, femininity equals painting your nails, nude colours, being soft, being polite, being sensual. It's just one part of such a much deeper school of thought. There's so much more to femininity and so many different divisions of women. It's there, it's alive, it's thriving. It's not just in the typical beauty standards. You know, we see a beautiful woman and we're like, oh, instantly she's feminine.
Yeah.
We see maybe a light-skinned woman or a white woman, instantly she's feminine. There's all these different preconceived notions that have created this very one-way outlook perspective on femininity, when really it is everywhere.
Yeah, I agree. I think definitely that femininity is an energy and it's like a vibe that you give off. Some people have it, some people don't. I think if you don't have it, you can definitely, like, it's something that can be like learned or taught, but some people naturally give off that vibe, and I don't think it has anything to do with how you look or what colour your nails are or if you're wearing red or anything like that.
So then, is it fair to say that then, like, this trajectory then takes place where, you know, some point in your lives during your character development, you just snap and, you know, shape yourself to become what some might call a divine woman, dare I say?
Yeah, I mean, so
like,
what do you mean?
in a sense, so with men, for example, I see trajectory from a masculine perspective. So for me, it's like, it's something I can actually harness in a sense and exercise. And that, for me, comes from a place of lack. So it's like, what does that look like from a female's perspective? Do you like, what's the common thing that women tend to lack within themselves before they decide to make that change in themselves? If that makes sense.
I think, because I can only speak for myself, but what I'm about to say I know can definitely resonate with a lot of different people, in the sense that for me, what I used to lack was genuine confidence, as in like genuine confidence and awareness in who I am and what I like, where do I like to go, who do I like to see. Like, there was a genuine lack of knowledge of me. Like, I didn't really know who I was, and that was something that it takes a journey, the highs, the lows, the moments that you expect and don't expect. It takes all these different things, a journey essentially, for you to reach that level where you do know who you are and you can carry confidence. And because I always say aura is the direct product of confidence, of knowing who you are. So yeah.
I think a lot of girls lack confidence, or a lot of women lack confidence because it's so hard to be yourself when everyone's trying to be someone else.
Finger clicks.
It's so hard to be yourself when like you go on TikTok or you go on something like Instagram and you see someone that you aspire to be like, so you try and be like them. So it's like when you're trying to be someone else all the time, you kind of forget how to be yourself, and you forget what it is that you like. What do you like wearing?
It's like music. Some people, music is their personality. After they've taken their dirty
I'm so dead. You're dumb. I hear it.
They're still the same person that they was listening to. Does that happen? Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah, definitely. That you could tell it's a identity thing. Clearly, it's a lack of self, and this is what I was kind of thinking. And me and Amanda were talking before. And the one thing we concluded was when a woman is in touch with her femininity, it's like divine. It's on not on like a surface level, on a vibrational level, on an intermolecular level. Do you get it? And we was just kind of like saying that, obviously we're just talking about how just whether we need you guys or not, this and that. Gender wars.
Let's go. Don't want to be.
But wait, what do you think is the biggest drive to like gender wars? Like, where do you think that stems from?
You see, in this generation that we're in, everybody is so susceptible to. Go on TikTok now. You're an engineer. Women can do it. Girl boss. Andrew Tate.
There's way too much going on.
It's so much. I feel like it's part of the divide though, because that's how it's always been. Even take away race, take away all these other divisions. When we look at gender, it's always been divided, especially, well, at least in the Western world, it's always been divided. The war has always been there. From the moment you said you're in the kitchen, that's your even habitat.
I don't agree.
Do you know?
I think the reason why we have gender wars nowadays because people have too many options. Like people have too much
dating, or what is this?
No, like just in general. Like as you were saying earlier, like how now women can essentially be men. They don't need men anymore. They can work. They can have their own babies. Anything. You don't really need men. And the same way, like men don't really feel like they need women.
My big thing to that is individualism. It's individualism.
Individualism. Exactly. Because if you look at like African countries, it's not. There's no gender war. Women know their place in the nicest way. I don't say I'm agreeing with it, but women know their place. Men know their place. If you go back to like 1950s, the women know their place, the men know their place. There was no gender wars.
I don't remember, but they have a third gender as well. And I feel like in their cultures, it was very kind of like survival of the fittest, hunting, nurturing. It was very wild, wild west. And I feel like the women there was no kitchen to go and be kitchening in. Do you know what I mean? You had huts, there were actual physical things you needed to do, and it was kind of like the women would handle that. Even for example, to say to that is a case of in so many different cultures there is no war on gender. Gender to them is it's part of their community. I don't know. It has nothing to do with the roles. It has nothing to do with the roles. And even if you look at Nigerians, for example, this is why I don't really agree with the like women know their place, especially in Africa. I know in Nigeria the women are the breadwinners, as in it's the women you see Lagos Street. You see, it's the women that you see with the clothes shops, with the food shops, with they're the ones who are making the money. They're the ones weaving the clothes, then selling it off. They're the ones who make the money. Well, at least in Yoruba culture, sorry. Let me specify. I don't know what Yoruba. I don't know what everyone else do, but Yoruba women are typically the breadwinners. So when I look at it from that perspective, I don't really see a gender war per se. Sometimes. In different when I look from different lenses, I don't see it as much as in the Western culture and what we've made it to be.
Is it? Do you think then? Because obviously, you know how they, it was a masculine society, especially at one point, and the argument is that it's now transitioned into a ladies' society, or like that it's obviously no longer like. In other words, that's what is preached among like. All the deep masculine toxic stuff the common thing they say is men are becoming weaker, women are becoming you lot are thriving now.
Oh, I think I know.
Yes. Do you now think then I don't know, I think on a deep rooted scale, biologically we have been programmed to operate a certain way like they would in Africa, dare I say. But is it us that have now developed and evolved to the point where women can now say, again, be more individual, and is that now what causes that bit of distortion, dare I say?
I think the problem is women. I think men react to women, and I think women are very like out loud and proud with their rights and what they want to do and what they want to be able to do. So I think because women really wanted to be free and like work for themselves, have their own money, be independent, it kind of forced men to take a step back. So rather than men taking a step back and then women stepping up, I think it was that the chicken came before the egg rather than the egg for the chicken.
Fair enough. I hear that. What do you think? Do you count that? Do you think?
No, I genuinely know. If I know, just even if I said that
man just sat down.
Hey guys, zoom in. You don't need to go to YouTube for this. I will tell you that. No, but men have always been the problem from the beginning of time. Listen. I love men. I love that. No, it's because of the men. Listen, a woman is not born mad; she's made mad by men. That's my saying. I love men. However, from the beginning of time, guys, in every sector, religion, power, politics, economy, and do you know the reason why this is a fact is because we're all sitting in a place of privilege. Because we see what women can do now. From the beginning of time, especially in Western world, especially in the Western world, women they didn't have power to control anyone. They were the oppressed. In the hierarchy structure, you can't have it the other way around. It doesn't work like that. But hence why this is the top that we affected the bottom.
Wait, before we go over to you, you said religion.
Yeah. Whoa.
You started.
I've said bullet point number 4.
Crossing the legs.
Who bit the apple? Was it a man or a woman?
It was actually
Adam. I was even gonna say that. I can't lie.
Guys, my reference here is
it was actually Adam.
It's either a Jubilee. I don't know if you guys know Jubilee on YouTube.
Okay, interesting.
The Jubilee discussions. They get people from different sides and then they sit in the middle. They say a prompt. If you agree, you sit down and then do it anyway. That was my reference. It's either that or another one. And it was actually talking about how it was Adam. Now, when I read the Quran, I think I can recall
it was Adam. When I read it, or when I listened to it, it was Adam.
So it's even all these different interpretations. It's like a lot of men, they come very like me.
I'm so done.
And it's like,
what? That's crazy though. Wait, religion? No, Livo. Was it? I thought all this.
Do you know who made that up? A man. Because he didn't
it's
want
convenient.
You're dumb. Interesting. Okay then. So, just to head this to a different direction then. So I was obviously thinking, I think femininity.
Yeah.
There's different types of feminine in this world. I think even you two are different types of feminine from the
when
things
I
you're. Definitely.
And do you know what's funny? This is how I describe femininity to people, or at least female archetypes to people. When I'm like, there's women who naturally give off a very sensual and sexual aura. Like they look at you and you see sex, or like it's almost like they're looking at you from a lens of sex and love, right? And then you have women who are a lot more nurturing. Think of like your friends, like your friendship group. There was always that one who was more the mother. You would go to her, she would plan it. You would go to her with your problems, and then you have women who are very like maiden, and that's what my sister is. Anytime I describe femininity and try to differentiate them to people, I always think my sister, for example, she's very like like crossing the road, like anything she does,
no reason.
Everything she does, and she's so like dainty, and so it's childlike, but in a feminine way. And then obviously you have so many different types. So have you ever come across, in terms of like girls that you dated in the past, that were different in different energies?
Yes. Literally,
your friends and
one thing I'm aware of is with vibrational creatures. So literally, I think, especially women, like all sorts of energies are sensed, and I can wholeheartedly say that there is definitely most men then will know this, whether you recognize it or not. It is something that we feel or that we experience, but it is true. There's facts. Definitely different energies.
And do you think that the type of feminine women that they go for is a direct reflection of them? Because, for example, there are women who they take, like, marriage is very for them, as in is the pinnacle of all, right? And it can lead them to being very jealous, maybe when they're threatened by other women. Do you think that the way the man handles her and her femininity is a direct reflection of his? Because I feel like women who tend to be, let's say for example, jealous or have an attitude, I feel like they attract a certain type of masculine man. And then women who are a lot more maybe laid back or chill, they express a certain type of...
It's so funny, as you were speaking, because I read, A Superior Man, the book in it, the web Superior Man.
I'm not even surprised.
I had to,
don't mind you, Jack.
But he literally referred to this thing. He said that, like, so the relationship a man has with themselves. So I referred to the trajectory and the journey towards heroism, the warrior that we strive to become, mentally. That's what drives us in life to thrive. The relationship we have with ourselves amongst that changing process is the relationship with the femininity. So that battle you have with life, that relationship you have with life, the divine femininity is like
it's
essentially
the experience part, because divine feminine is that whole idea of laying back and letting things happen to you without you reacting.
Okay.
A lot of people think, because masculine energy is very like logistical and pragmatic, they forget that feminine energy is actually very powerful in its own sense, where it's laid back. It is what it is. You see that saying, it is what it is. It's kind of very feminine energy, and it's very, 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 very powerful in terms of your journey side by side with masculinity. I think that's even what you were going. I do.
Yeah, no, literally, no, you're hitting the spot. Literally. I lost my train of thought. I'll say that. But that was I presided that.
Yeah.
What was I saying before? So yes. So you said, what did you say before? You said something before. Actually, the question you was going into about women. Yeah.
Have you noticed the difference between them?
Yeah.
Yes. So my thing is, a lot of men aren't. So for you to be that vibrational, I don't think a lot of men are getting with the right. I don't think they're matching frequencies with the women interacting.
Everyone loves this toxic shit. I don't understand type shit. I don't even get it.
Yeah, there's a bit of there's a lack of a connection. So that to give an answer to that, like
quickly, do you like toxic people?
Honestly,
what girls like?
It's the thrill, isn't it?
Do you know what it is? You want a bit of drama in your life, innit? But is it? You want a bit of drama in your life, but that's just because. I don't know. No, you don't though. It's not practical. It's like it's so inconvenient. It's so inconvenient. No, but that's the thing. But that's the thing though. it is like the masculine and the feminine. Like life is about balance, isn't it? So it's funny. It's very paradoxical in the sense. It is. It is honestly. But you want to find. But that's why I say, if you're matching frequencies, you've got the same mutual foundation that you both understand on. Yeah. And then with that, you're able to, you know, navigate and do what you got to do essentially. So that's more or less it.
Yeah, I was even gonna ask because me and my sister, we always talk about like men, the guys that we've been with, or
I was even gonna how they push us into our masculinity. Oh my! This is I didn't even know you were gonna say. You know, I was even gonna say that right now. Yeah,
crazy,
this is sister tell
that's it. But how does that? Wait, how does that manifest? How does that look? How does that like? What's a common day to day?
I was gonna ask you before we give our own. I was gonna ask you: have you ever felt like a woman has pushed you into your feminine? Yeah. What a question! Are you crazy?
Like she's running it, like you're just following her.
Yeah. Has
Don't
that ever
have to be
happened
literally.
to you? Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Not even. But I will say, there's been times I've been shifted.
Yeah.
So those times I've been shifted, those are the moments where my masculinity has been questioned.
That's honest.
Because I like to say I've reached a stage of max assurance within myself.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not all knowing, but I'm like, you know, striving to become the best version of myself. So striving is like I embody that state. I am the best version of myself every present moment. I like that. So in doing that, someone come in and just, you know, causing that shift, it definitely was like, definitely. It was I don't know, it comes from a place of questioning, really. A place of questioning. But that it's happened. It's definitely, it's common. It might not be as common because, like, I had to be open to... Because a lot of guys are naive. You know, a lot of guys will take something and just, like... I'm very, like, I absorb everything. Do you get it? So, even I'm able to refine information. So, whatever's being told to me, if I listen to it and I actually hear, hang on, this could actually be possible, I'm taking it in. And in doing that, you know, all of a sudden it will cause a few questions, but that's interesting actually. I've never deeped it like that.
Because I've never ever asked the guy. Ever.
Yeah, interesting.
Ever. But what were you gonna say that? Because what's very funny is that I feel like Abby can speak in this a little bit as well as me. Just experiencing guys that have put us in a position of that isn't our natural state. Like there are so many people, and this comes when you do the work to know who you are. Because if you don't know who you are, you can't relate. The proximity you have,
the issue. Like you don't know that it's a problem.
Yeah. So what's your experience in that?
I was gonna say in my last situation, I was heavily always in my masculine, and it's kind of like an internal battle. So like, you know, when you wake up and there's just something wrong, but you don't know what's wrong. For me, that was my constant state for like 2 years. And I think when I left the situation, that's when I realized that, oh my gosh, like what was wrong is that I wasn't in my natural energy. So I was fighting within myself, you know? And then when I left and I started really like working on my femininity, working on myself, what do I like, what do I not like? That's when I realized that me now I'm at peace because I'm sitting in my feminine, and naturally I attract the opposite. So like it's always important to always attract your equal opposite. Like as you were saying before, the reason why relationships are toxic is because you're not attracting the energy that suits you. And that was I wouldn't say my last thing was toxic. I just think it was eye-opening when I left because when I'm looking back at it retrospectively, I was like, wow, that is not me. You know, at all.
And it's funny because I noticed that before you noticed that. I would literally I used to do it in ways like things that I'd observe. I'm very observant, so even like when they'd be on the phone, I'd be like, are you guys fighting? She'd be like, no, or I'd be like, is someone on the phone? She'd be like, yeah, no, I'm like,
just bear with that.
No, you named your bitch.
I'll make sure.
That's how we go.
Hey! Do you know what's funny though? It's interesting you say that because that is something a lot of men can relate to, but that results for us in particular, and I've gone through that, peeling away becoming more of an individual. In a society full of individuals, how dangerous is that? Or how beneficial is it?
Honestly, I hate it. I hate it and I love it. It's a double-edged sword for me. Like, individualism, it works in a very, because we live in a meritocracy. The more things you do, the more things you achieve, the higher you're going to go.
Elaborate
the a meritocracy is a society run on merits. Merits being, have you graduated from university? What's your salary like? What titles are you? PhD, professor, baroness, Like, merits are like how many achievements, how many gold stars do you have? The more gold stars you have in society, the higher you are, the more respected you are. And on that level, I agree. I think individualism makes sense. You're not going to hold someone's hand throughout your uni degree, or you're not going to, it makes sense. However, when it comes to other things, like even the work I do, the whole self journey, confidence, motivational spectrum, even humanitarian work, even when it comes to community building, even when it comes to so many different things, I feel like collectives, it's more powerful when you're in a collective, when we're doing things collectively. But then on the other end, so it's a double-edged sword for me in terms of that, I think.
But do you think it's more beneficial or more damaging?
Again, I don't know. There's no wrong or right answer to that, to be honest. It is all just, it's very paradoxical, as I said. I think one thing I believe in is oneness. Oneness. I think that being the case, a balance of both is needed. But it's like, because do you believe that we are monogamous?
What's that? As in one person?
One person, yeah.
I never have.
Yeah.
Oh,
when
really?
I say it, like, no one believes me. I don't think so.
That we're not monogamous. Okay.
But do we mean, like, do we believe that we can be with one person in a relationship, or do we believe that we can fall in love with one person? Like, with more than one person, or that...
Well, in a biological sense, deep-rooted, we are, well, supposedly, we are polygamous. So, then I'm thinking now, then how does that look now in a society that is trying to push the narrative of monogamy? Is that maybe what the problem is? Like, that shift? Is it that, obviously, individuals, it's hard, we're not a collective, so there's a lot of differentiation that exists, a lot of distortion, and that essentially causes this huge, dare I say, mess, but, like... I
mean, I do think that humans are, is it polyamorous or polygamous? People need people.
Yes.
Like, I think people thrive when they're with other people, and more than just one person. I think as well, I'm not the same person that I was 2 years ago. Bro, I wasn't the same person that I was yesterday. Only having one person and expecting, obviously you can grow together, but expecting to still be the same people in 20 years, 30 years, I don't think it's realistic. I think there's different people. This is something I always say, actually. There's different people for different stages of your life, and everyone comes and they give you something, and then they go when they need to. So I don't believe in holding on to people and trying to push the narrative of monogamy when you should just allow people to enter and go to flow. To just flow through your life. Exactly the same way you're gonna flow through other people's lives. I think because there's 8 billion people in the world, it's bound to be a mess. It's bound to be a mess. Everyone can't think the same. But you can find your group that you resonate with.
100%. And if you think about it as well, like, even if we take it like all the way to the beginning of time, it was Adam and Eve. It was two people, and the more they gave birth, polygamy, or like being with more than one person, it's how you make tribes. It's how tribes were made. It's how people, like, even incest. Listen, touchy subject, but I came across this video that was basically talking. No, Jubilee again. People they were dropping their facts. Guys, it's amazing. And they were mentioning how at one point in time, polygamy was a way to create tribes and create like people. Because obviously, if you started from two, how the hell do you think we got to 8 million?
Yeah.
Because one each said I'm gonna have you, me and you never had Listen, everybody was interconnected left, right, centre. So.
Incest, like referring to the Quran. Adam, peace be upon him, and their children, they had sets of twins, and they interconnected with the twins, with the twin sets.
Was it? I don't want to get it wrong.
I don't know.
I'm gonna say what I don't get it wrong. Okay,
but they interconnect, like they procreated with sets of twins.
We're part of the evolutionary process, right? So there's bound. We are the same.
We're animals.
The same organ.
We're animals. Like,
not that we agree with incest.
Yes.
By the way.
Anyway, I don't even need to say we are animals. Like, that is what we were created. We're animals to an extent in terms of evolution and stuff like that. Scientific.
We're beings.
Yes.
I like that.
Consciousness.
Consciousness. We're consciousness. We're energy.
Yes. CTPT.
Straight. No, that's hard. No, I'm liking this. So what? Let me just say then, do you have siblings, by the way?
Yeah.
Just you two?
Two
men? Oh, right, is it? Really?
You know what? People only think it's me.
Mums, I thought it was just you two.
Yeah.
What? How many siblings do you have? Like,
when I tell you, as much as I'm online, I'm so proud. No one ever knows. Everyone always thinks it's my sister and my youngest brother, Farouk. But actually there's more. So there's Wahab, who's older than him. And then there's Latif, who is older than him. And then there's our stepbrother, in terms of who lives with us.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's a lot of people.
Well, you two are then you're the oldest.
I'm the oldest, and then she's. So
What about you?
I've got two younger sisters.
So you're the oldest?
Yeah, I'm the oldest. Yeah. That's interesting. So then do you think then, so how, I don't know how like hands-on you are in your siblings' lives and stuff, how are you like, not tracking, but are you observing their character developments in a sense, especially the guys?
You know what, yes.
Yes, we are.
When I tell you what happened, listen, character development, I don't even need to, it's not even like I need to sit down and journal one night. What happened to my brother? No.
You hear about
on Monday, he's one way. I felt like there was one day puberty just hit, and I was even there to witness. I just feel like one day puberty walked right into the door with me. I don't even know.
Just one day, innit?
He just didn't lock the door behind him, maybe. And he just changed.
That's meant. It happens.
And Farouk as well.
And you know what's crazy? Like, I was trying to limit the amount of time that Farouk, the youngest brother, spends with Wahab.
To watch.
He's a bit problematic sometimes.
Okay.
And like when I was looking at my youngest brother, I was seeing the resemblance, and I was like, I don't like the way this is going. I was like, I don't like the way this is going, so I don't want you to hang out with him.
Hang out.
They was making the same jokes. When they would come back and say something, I'm like, this doesn't sound like you.
I even think it's Wahab talking. But it's because Wahab's going through that puberty stage. That is the most volatile stage of your life as a man, especially as a human being. I feel like this is, forget about identity crisis, because that's what we're feeling now, and that we're even in our 20s. Puberty.
You don't know anything.
You don't know anything. You're just confused.
It's true. And this is why I'm saying the relationship you have with yourself as a man, what you're expressing there, a lot of men can relate to. That is the narrative that happens for men. So that is part of the process of like finding yourself. And like you said, identity. You do go through an identity crisis within yourself as you try to establish yourself and, you know, make sense of your being. And it's like the journey to that is different, especially for men and women. It's a fascinating thing in general, honestly. But then my thing is, cool. For me as a man, I like to say the way I like to work on myself and harness my masculinity is,
gym.
you know, gym.
Making the muscles walk.
But even on a, you know, and you might be able to relate to this, I say like gym in general is a form of meditation, and this is like common knowledge, but I don't think people take in why it actually is meditation, because meditation is in a sense being present with yourself and with your thoughts.
Yeah.
When you are on the gym floor, you as a spirit sat in your vessel, God's vessel, for you to recruit your body to push weight, what's like that connection there, that whole experience in itself is meditation. You're present with your body. Sometimes you might fuck up a lift, you're like, oh fuck, this shit's heavy. You're talking to yourself. Yeah, because that's you and your thoughts, you know what I mean? That's the one time you're literally sat present with yourself. So it is meditation in a sense. My thing is now, I do that as a man, you know, big muscles, bold, courageous, growing up watching superheroes and you know, you just reside with a lot of things. Like, my thing is, as a woman, as a female, what does that look like then? What are you working on? Like, what does radiating or harnessing your femininity look like? What things do you do? Because you gym. Are you really a gym head like that?
No.
So do you know what I mean? So what's the difference here? Like, what does it do for you that it wouldn't do for you, or what's the wiring there?
I agree with you. Gym is my therapy. If I don't go to the gym, start twitching. Something is
she has a mood.
I'm in a mood. What's wrong? I haven't gone to the gym in a week. And I feel like for me that came from a place where I was lost. And I found myself in the gym. Like, as you were saying, when you're lifting weights, in your head you're thinking, oh, I'm so tired, I need one more. That's you thinking to yourself, and you're like, that mind to muscle connection obviously depends on what you're training. Like, if you're stretching, that mind to muscle connection is you're feeling your body, you're feeling your fatigue, and you're deciding to push through anyway. So it's a discipline. So like, when you learn that discipline with gym, with anything else, you have that same mentality of, I'm tired, one more. Oh, I couldn't be bothered, let me just go. Oh, I'm tired, just do it, So I feel like for me, and it also increased my self-confidence, because not only did I look better because I was going to the gym, but I knew that I was capable of, like, I'm in the top 10%. Out of the 8 billion people in the world, how many people go gym? So I'm like, I'm that girl. I go to the gym. You
talk your shit.
Because you know what? When you go to the gym, there's always so many people there. So you forget that you're actually part of the small percentage of people who actually put in work in themselves.
Definitely.
Yeah. So in your head, you're like, well, I'm that girl. I'm fit. I'm active. Even if I don't necessarily.
I'm active.
You see that?
I see that.
But yeah, so like, you have that self-confidence, and as we were said at the beginning, femininity is like a form of your energy, self-confidence. A lot of women lack it, so I feel like when I got it, that's when I really, my femininity was elevated, because I'd walk in and be like, this is me, this is who I am, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. Someone asks me who am I, I'll be able to tell them who I am. And I found that with gym. How would you say you found it?
For me, it's through dancing. Like, even when, because Abby knows,
I do know.
Sometimes I'll be on Snap as well. I dance. Even when I'm maybe on my way to work, I'll just be like,
little shimmy, you know what I mean?
I'll dance. Like, for me, and I came across this this concept of trauma being trapped in our bodies. So for me, dancing was the way that I'm able to relearn my body, especially in a sexual way, relearn how to move. And this all came about from a woman I came across on TikTok. She has a condition, a movement ability, a mobility, sorry, that's the word, issue. And I think she couldn't move at all. But it was through dancing sessions. She would just dance on TikTok. Nothing special, she would just dance, and her hashtag is keep moving, and she would just dance, and it got to the point where now her videos, guys, she does side by sides with Shakira, and she does the hip movements the exact same, and her hip movements, guys, I think she goes viral because of it. And when you look at her videos from before, guys, the way she was moving, it wasn't. So what I'm trying to say is that for me, the biggest thing that helped my healing journey, as well as journaling, it was dancing. Just moving.
That was when you said moving. I think literally in the gym, it's like you feel like a kid just chucking weights around, isn't it?
Honestly, when you're running,
just literally, you're a kid, literally, when you're deadlifting.
It's your playground. playground.
So that's when he said trauma trapped in the child. That was like raw, because
in the body.
Yeah, like, that is like that's literally what it is.
If you think about it, and a lot of the people who actually do this work are chiropractors. They're the ones. They probably know a lot about this, as well as people who like masseuses and things like that, because there's a lot of tension. Where you have tension, I'm someone who realizes this about myself. I used to walk with my shoulders high all the time. Like I wouldn't even know until I was conscious about it. I would then, or I also, this is something that I still don't do. I was even talking to my CEO about it. I was asking him, I said to him, I was like, how do you breathe? Because he's so. He just walks around, CEO Giorgio Armani, just floats around Milan. And I'm like, how do you breathe? How do you be someone who just floats? How do you do that? And because I feel like I could go a day without breathing. Like in my head, I feel like I don't breathe. And it's only until I tell myself, then I breathe. And then that's when I breathe. So it's that mind-muscle connection of, and even personal trainers say this, they say, picture the muscle that you want to target and picture oxygen picture the stretching, the pulling of it. They literally want you to visualize it. Trauma is trapped in all of our bodies, and I think people who go to the gym, people who dance, Pilates, yoga, stretching, people who move, even if you go outside and you walk, people who move, I feel like that's a way to ease some of the tension that a lot of us have.
Definitely.
And do you know what, I agree with that even more? I study pharmacy.
Yes.
So
scientists.
So like, out of, let's say, 9 out of 10 like health problems or diseases, if you was to ask me or search online, how do you cure yourself? 100% of the time, exercise, healthy eating.
Definitely.
So that trauma in the body is like
the baseline.
The baseline move, like the baseline exercise. No matter what is wrong with your life, exercise can help you. Heart condition,
in whatever way that is for you.
In whatever way that is, like exercise, moving your body helps anything.
That's
mentally, physically.
Mentally, but life is mental. Life is mental. Reality is mental, and that's what I was thinking as well. Like, I was thinking about frequencies. So. We obviously listen, you dance to music, obviously.
Yeah, and I listen to frequencies in the morning.
Oh, what, as in literal frequencies?
On my way to work.
Oh, you literally listen
to her playlist.
Oh, yeah. Was there a playlist?
A lot of people know about this,
Yeah, like, okay, interesting. That's because, I think obviously as we are vibrational creatures, or, on the intermix level, we are atoms. We all operate on the frequency. Everything in reality, everything we can see or we're experiencing is a vibration. That being the case, is like you can almost chime your vibration, like you can alter your frequency. Do you think then that, like, having a good, where was I going with this? Like, do you think that people, maybe the problem is that they're not finding their own frequencies, or like they're not finding what, because if I see you on the tube and I see you dancing, I'm like, what's this girl doing?
How your frequencies are different.
Do you know what I mean? Like, what, like, is it that you have to step out and just defy? I don't know, it's weird, it's an interesting one. Yeah. Yeah,
no, I know what you mean. Frequencies are all around, like you said. People are going to vibrate at different frequencies. Some are going to attract, some are going to repel. That's what friction and that's frequencies, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't that gravity? But essentially, frequencies.
Electric charging.
Yeah. Electromagnetic. It's just chemistry.
But I agree. I think the main issue is that a lot of people don't realize their own vibration.
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot of people don't know about it.
Yeah.
They're ignorant to it, so they don't realize how, what energy they're giving them. It's a lack of awareness. And if you're not aware of what vibration you're going off, you won't be able to channel it, and you won't be able to put yourself you won't be able to change it, basically. And when you see someone at a higher vibration, you can judge them, or be like, oh, I don't understand this.
You just don't understand. Because you don't understand yourself.
Because you don't know exactly.
It's like when some people are delusional. Like some people might be, it's like, I don't know, they'll be like, I was so nice, or like, I'm that guy, and it's like, are you? You don't know you're carrying useless energy. You don't know.
But it's because they're vibrating at a high energy. Like, one of my friends, Angelina, co-founder.
We love you, Angelina.
She's very into energies and vibrations, and she's always like, guys, you need to like fix your vibration. If you want anything, you need to make sure that you're like preaching, be at a high vibration, because like, for example, if you want to get anything in your life, you need to just vibrate at the same level. She's like, if you want that guy, just embody it. I already even have him. 100%. Like, if I want to get an A, I already have the A. Like, 100%. I've already opened the book. The A is already there. I just need to get it now.
100%. So, that's what I always say. I'm in my own fantasy. Now I'm just waiting for reality to catch up with me.
Okay, yes.
I like that. Say that again. Say it again. Zoom in.
That's wild.
I'm in my own fantasy. I'm just waiting for society to catch up with me. Reality to catch up
reality
with me.
Is life. Reality is
when you can catch up to me, we can be talking. Otherwise,
that was cool, I can't lie. Yeah, that's true still. That's true. One thing I'm big on is like you've got to be delusional in a sense to manifest anything in life. You've got to envision as if you've got to embody who you are in that present moment before it comes to you. So it's some real shit for real.
Otherwise, your vibration will be smelling. It will be smelling like doo-doo.
Yeah, man. So we have to wrap it there by the looks of it. This conversation could have carried on though. But we'll take it. I know.
Yeah, we just dipped on toes.
Just the surface level, mum, just the surface level for real. So before we shoot off, is there anything you'd like to plug? You're doing events now, which I rate. That Confidence Club thing you're still doing now.
And so Confidence Club has actually turned into a charity now.
Okay.
It's a charity for women in poverty and women who are homeless, but also to fight against violence against women and girls. And I'm also a fashion and journey brand owner called Muda Mela.
Muda Mela.
Muda, that's MUDA London. Some more should get. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. And I'm a self-journey advocate. So essentially what I do is share my own journey in hopes that it inspires you to get on yours or to keep going on with yours. I've kind of stepped back from doing the whole like talking and like telling and social media is a lot of like, you do this, you need to do this to be this high value person. How about just and share your journey, just like the people the people who share their journey, share their lives, and you get inspired by that. So that's
where the greatest insights found. Definitely. Anything that's a plug as well?
Yeah, I mean, I plugged myself at the beginning, but let me reiterate. I'm a fitness coach, so I help people reach their potential. For me, fitness was my oasis, is where I found my peace. So I love to help other people find the same. My catchphrase is, it's a lifestyle, not a diet. So I don't teach people how to necessarily be fit. I teach people how to make fitness a lifestyle and implement that on a day-to-day basis. So I have an 8-week program if you guys want to join in. There's no availability at the moment, but follow the Instagram. I'm active with a 3, not an E, and I'll let you guys know when there is.
Yeah, if I had another hour, I would have dived into a whole lot of shit.
Honestly, you should have PTs on this. Fitness people who
that would be controversial.
People who are coming up in the fitness world. You should have them all sit here. So Abby, maybe your friends, even Daniel as well, because he has his own way of thinking.
That'd be keen.
And then another person, maybe like another girl who does something different, but in fitness. In a different way. That'd be so sick. That conversation.
That's definitely something to keep in mind.
Because you guys talking about mind and muscle connection.
Literally.
I feel like in my opinion, it's the most important thing that a non-gym starter needs to wrap their head. If there was one principle in fitness, it's that. I would say it's that.
Facts.
I would say
it's facts.
Yeah.
We've got to shoot off.
Yeah.
We've got to shoot off.
We're recording that.
But that is stuff. Listen, yes. Oh, what me? Oh, you don't know.
Come on, man. Come on, Jared.
CT, man. You know me already. We'll catch up later. Be sure to stay tuned. I've got more things cooking. You might have seen the previous conversation with the men as well. This is something I'm considering, so keep an eye out for this one, guys. Loads more to come. You know the thing.
Yeah. Boy, you're a savage.
We'll wrap it there, guys. Catch y'all later.